Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you. First of all, thank you for being the faithful that got up and were willing to listen to the first speaker here, me. So I really do appreciate that. I want to thank Ralph Reed. I want to thank this organization, the Faith and Freedom Coalition, for everything you have done over the years to preserve those two things, our faith and our freedoms. I can't tell you how important that has been, certainly in my lifetime and in preserving this precious thing we call America. Now, let me start by giving you probably the most important salient fact about me. I was raised by two parents of deep faith who loved me. Can you imagine what the world would be, what our country would be if every child could make that statement? We've witnessed since I was born, unwed birth rates go from way less than 10% to now over 40% in our country. What happened? I would argue big government happened. I would argue liberalism happened. And not the liberalism of our founding fathers, classical liberalism. Socialism happened. The nanny state, the cradle-to-grave idea that big government is somehow better at raising our children than families are. It doesn't work. We understand it doesn't work. Unfortunately, conservatives have kind of let it happen. Because we understood the dangers of big government, we focused all of our attention on winning the presidency, winning U.S. Senate races. And what we ignored is what the left didn't ignore. Remember how we all ridiculed President Obama for being a community organizer? That community organizer and the people, his fellow travelers, are accomplishing what President Obama said 5 days before he won his first election. Remember that? He said, in 5 days, he said, we have the opportunity to fundamentally transform America. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think America needs to be fundamentally transformed. Maybe after they get done with it, it'll need to be, but not now. And the question I always ask is, do you even like, much less love something? Do you want to fundamentally transform? It's kind of like I wake up in the morning and I say, Jane, I love you. Now I'm going to change everything about you. That just doesn't work. The masterstroke of the left really occurred during my lifetime in the 60s, during the Vietnam War protests when college administrations capitulated and the radical left took over our university system. So they control colleges of education, of journalism and law. They control our culture. And what they have been doing relentlessly is paying attention to local government. They've taken over county boards, city councils, and probably most destructive of all, they've taken over our school boards. And so they're pushing, and you hear a lot more about this, I'm sure today, critical race theory. They are propagandizing to our children. They are turning our children away from faith and family and our founding principles and ideals. That founding vision that is so marvelous. We hold these truths to be self-evident. I love that. It's so obvious that all men and women are created equal. They're endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. Among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So that's the problem. They've taken control of local government while we've been focusing on every now and again winning a presidency, winning some U.S. Senate seats. But we've just witnessed how relentless the left is at growing government, which means taking away our freedom. They are relentless. We need to be every bit as relentless at preserving this nation and preserving our liberty and freedom. And here's how we do it. Here's how we do it. I want to use Wisconsin as an example. After we lost a heartbreaking election, statewide elections in 2018, I ended up being the last statewide elected Republican, had a leadership role. So we analyzed what went wrong. Two things. We ignored the grassroots, so we had to re-energize them. But even more importantly, I had no idea this was happening. We have 99 state assembly seats. In 2018, we only had 69 Republican candidates for those 99 seats. We let 30 state assembly Democrats run unopposed. So in 2020, we didn't let that happen. We had convinced a very generous donor to actually put up the campaign money for those state assembly recruits. So in 2020, we ended up with 92 Republican candidates running for state assembly. We also, by the way, when I ran in 2016 with President Trump on the ticket, I only had 6 of our 8 congressional seats with a Republican candidate. This year we had 8. And the results were astounding, and that's why Ralph came or asked me to come speak to you today. It proves the theory of making sure that we have a Republican on every line of the ballot. Here's the numbers. When I ran in 2016, with the help of the grassroots of Wisconsin, I got the record number of votes for any statewide Republican candidate, a little under 1.5 million. 1.5 million. The problem is, President Obama has a record at 1,677,000. So I just always thought that if they were energized and we were energized, we were more a blue state. We were 100 to 200,000 votes at a disadvantage to Democrats until 2020. Here are the results. Those 92 state assembly Republican candidates collectively, now remember, I got 1,480,000 votes. Those 92 candidates got 1,661,000 votes. 180,000 more than I got. And what's even more remarkable that proves the point is that the 8 congressional Republican candidates got 1,661,000 votes, an identical number of votes within a couple hundred votes. So again, the main advantage of what I call trickle-up elections, the main advantage is we'll start taking back control of local government. After all, that is the vision of our founding fathers. Government close to the governed, where it's more efficient, where it's more effective, where it's more accountable. So that's the primary reason we do this. We regain control of local government, school boards, which means we regain control of our culture. But it has the very positive upscale benefit of trickling up and helping statewide and national candidates win as well. So it's an across-the-board win. It's what the Democrats have been doing. You know, in business, you always copy what your successful competitors are doing. We need to copy what the Democrats have done, and we need to, again, retake our culture, retake local government. Now, in the time I have remaining, let me just talk about what our solemn duty is. I'm sure everybody in this room agrees with me that America truly is something unique in the span of human history. This is a marvel. The fact in 1776 that not only did we have that Declaration of Independence that laid out that vision statement for self-governance, the Constitution that laid out the contract and how we go about doing it. We also have Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations, which laid out a free market system with the invisible hand. And it literally is that combination of a vision for limited self-government that primarily is here designed to protect our freedom, preserve our liberty, combined with a free market system that's created this marvel we call the American economy that produces so much opportunity for every American. It's why so many people want to come to our shores, want to engage in this marvel of an experiment in self-governance and human achievement. So I just want to leave you with this thought. I'm asking you to commit yourself because it is our solemn duty to make sure that we not only preserve this nation for future generations, that we make sure that it not only survives for future generations, but so that America thrives. God bless all of you. God bless the United States of America. Take care.